Everyone, welcome back to Vinyl Legends. Today we're going to be going over Revolver by the Beatles. Now this video was a hard-pressed one to film because this is my favourite Beatles album by a millimetre. Not even a millimetre, whatever smaller than a millimetre. I think all the Beatles albums are 10 out of 10 amazing in their own right. And I never really had a favourite one. But this was the first Beatles studio album that I got into that opened up the door to what would become my second favourite band. And that, for that reason alone, it gets the video. I was going to do a video where I talk about the Beatles in general, but I've decided to stay with the format. I will do it on one album. Now, I would have so these glasses, they're not real, but I bought them in Liverpool. I bought them in the Beatles Experience in Liverpool, so they're special. And I bought a hat. It's sort of like a 60s style hat that has the official Apple Records Beatle logo on it, which you've seen in videos before, but for whatever reason it's disappeared into the ethos. And I cannot find it whatsoever, which is really irritating. But anyway, let's get into it with the backstory. Throughout this video you're going to see clips or pictures of me in Liverpool, because why not? So for the backstory, I thought I'd read from a book it was a Christmas present from my American friend that I never actually, I have read once I think, but we're going to get it out of our Beatles bag. This was not from Liverpool. This was from Disneyland Epcot. I'm actually going to take it off because this is very professional. Oh, yeah, cool. I ruined my hair. My glasses back on. So this is The Beatles: A Hard Day's Right. And it's a really good read if you love the Beatles. The stories behind every song. So it goes through just every song. It's so good. Free as... Let's have a look for it, shall we? I'm not going to read all the bit on Revolver, but might as well have a look, shall we? No, hang on. I might as well use my taxman. Paperback writer. Revolver, there we go. Shall we have a read? Revolver marked a significant development in the Beatles' sound, as well as the end of an era. After it, all their music was developed in the studio, unconstrained by considerations of whether the songs could be reproduced in concert. Now, showing the obvious influence of contact with emerging counterculture and developments in avant-garde artwork was appealing to a hipper audience. Encounters with the underground scene, along with the effort of psychedelic drugs, were to alter their perceptions of both I can't read, I'm dyslexic, both of themselves and their music. In a March 1966 interview with British teenage magazine Rave, Paul infused about George's interest in Indian music and his own explorations of theatre, painting, filmmaking, and electronic music. We've all got interested in things that never used to occur to us, he said. I've got thousands, millions of new ideas myself. Revolver was certainly an album brimming with new ideas. I can't say that word. Eclecticism has since become common in rock and roll, but this was where it all started. Not only did it involve musical styles ranging from a children's sing-along to psychedelic melange of backwards tape loops, it also presented a broad mix of lyrical concerns: death, taxation, pill, doctors, lonely, spinsters, sleep, ocean adventures, and sunshine. Yet, despite the experimental nature, Revolver was not inaccessible. Eleanor Rigby, For No One, Here, There, and Everywhere were three of the most beautiful and popular songs Paul ever wrote. Alright, I could read on, but yeah, I could have said all that myself off memory, but it wouldn't have been as good. But yeah, it's a really good album. There's a whole load of backstory to it, but let's talk about the look. So this cover was designed by Klaus Wardman, who is just brilliant. I love all the faces. You got the big Beatles faces, and then you got just all the little ones that are intertwined in between, and it's so detailed. And you know, as with Sgt. Pepper's that comes next, there's so much to it. I absolutely love it. And then this is a great picture of the band at the back. That's just superb. I won't show you the record because it's just a black record. There's nothing too special about it. But this one is the 2009 remaster, whatever you want to call it, on Parlophone Records. I had an original release. I say this because I had all the Beatles albums originally in mono. It sounded great, but I had to sell it. But yeah, if you want to hear this album in its purest and best form, you want to get it on mono, because that sounds superb. But let's talk about that in the song. Songs. So yeah, it starts with Taxman. Taxman is a great opening track with this just amazing bass line and guitar riff to it. That's just so iconic. It's just probably one of the most iconic bass riffs or musical riffs ever. And starting your album with that, you know, George Harrison just kills it. Amazing. And then one of my favorite Beatles songs, Eleanor Rigby. I can't remember the lyrics. It's just fun. I like in the Yesterday movie, Eleanor Rigby is the song that he's trying to remember throughout the whole film because the lyrics are so complex. Well, the lyrics are very in depth, and I just love it. Paul's singing. I love the strings. George Martin's strings in the background really add something, and it's just superb. I'm Only Sleeping. Lennon's vocals. Oh, John Lennon's vocals are some of the best. I absolutely love it. And I love the lyrics, you know. It's just superb. Love You Too, which is the first, I believe, the first Beatles song to have a sitar and an Indian influence is Norwegian Wood on the previous album, which is over there. But then this song has a ton more Indian influence, as we said in the backstory bit, that it is really good. It's not one of my favourites personally, but I think it is still superb. Here, There and Everywhere, absolutely love it. Here, There and Everywhere, it's just superb. Yellow Submarine, it's one of the greatest songs of all time. And yeah, it's a kid's sing-along song. It's very simple, very basic. Even the guitar work and the drums are not the most complex, but it's just brilliant. I can't describe it to you how good it is. And the Beatles experience in Liverpool, you have to get, if you're a huge Beatle fan like me, you have to go to Liverpool. I bought this on the the Merseyside front, whatever they call it. You go to the Beatles experience, and they've got a room for each era of the Beatles. And before you get to Sgt. Pepper's, you have to walk through the Yellow Submarine with that song playing. It's just superb. If I can find the video, I'll put it in now. Just amazing. And Ringo's vocals. Ringo's not like, you know, he's not the best singer. He's the best singer out of anyone. But he's just has this iconic voice, you know. Some people might say he can't sing. I think he can. But it just adds something to the track. It makes it more special, you know. Because John or Paul or George could have sung it and sung it brilliantly. But Ringo's vocals really add something to it. She Said, absolutely love it. The guitar riffs across this whole album are superb. But She Said are great. Good Day Sunshine, Good Day Sunshine, doo-doo-doo. I listen to, so if you ever go to Liverpool, they have the Liverpool football stadium. and then they have the Everton football stadium. Now, I'm not a football fan at all. So the two stadiums are opposed to each other. And then there's this beautiful park in the middle. Like, it's a huge park. And I've had my big red headphones on, walking around the park, listening to this album. It was just superb. Such an amazing experience. I can't recommend Liverpool enough. It was such a wonderful place. And whenever I visited, say there's a statue and I wanted to take a picture, there was always someone who said, "Do you want me to take a picture?" Because I went alone. None of my friends like the Beatles, to be honest, so they didn't want to come with me. So there's just some lovely people who agreed to take photos of me. And Your Bird Can Sing. Amazing. The vocal harmonies. Again, John and Paul's vocal harmonies are the best out of any band ever, any singers ever, it doesn't matter. John and Paul have the best vocal harmonies. I'm going to do a video on that one day, I think. For No One. Oh, Paul McCartney. Although, does it say, I don't know, it says Lennon McCartney. But I thought it was a McCartney's own song, as in a song he'd written hopefully himself. But the lyrics are superb. They're beautiful lyrics. Like, he smashed the lyrics. It's just a really heart-touching song. A very sour but beautiful moment on the album. Dr. Robert, which is not one of my favourite Beatles songs, I have to be honest. I Want to Tell You has an absolutely superb guitar riff. That's the thing with the Beatles. I listened to this album yesterday. I haven't listened to it today. Because I was going to film this yesterday, but shit happened. And then the guitar riffs, I just remember them. I can read the name of the song and they're in my head. That's how good they are. Gotta Get You Into My Life is a great song. And the album ends with Tomorrow Never Knows, which is also the first song they recorded for the album. Now, Tomorrow Never Knows, as we said in the backstory bit, it features a lot of tape loops that have been reversed. So they recorded the guitar riff and then reversed it in the tape loop. I thought that sounded really cool. And then they all sort of, it's just lots of weird sounds and reversed loops and stuff. And the lyrics are all about, all about death, and you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And George Harrison actually wasn't too pleased with it when it came out, because he was the one that was getting into all this Indian, Hindu, the spiritual side of things. And John Lennon wrote a song in that sort of vein. And George Harrison, but now he loves it. I mean, he did love it. But yeah, in conclusion, so I know this one's not been as long as the others. I'm still recovering from surgery, and it kind of hurts to sit down this long, but I had to film. And this album's a 10 out of 10. This is just superb. It is truly, I say it every video, go listen to this if you haven't, but it's very rare that someone hasn't heard a song from this album. Definitely check it out in mono. The mono mix was amazing, so it's a 10 out of 10, if I didn't say that already. But mono mix is just like an 11 out of 11. The Beatles in mono, George Martin once said that you haven't heard the Beatles until you've heard them in mono, and he was right. It sounds absolutely amazing. There's a mono in 2009. They did the remasters, these ones, but they also did a mono mix remaster and a big sort of box set. If you can find them, they're really expensive. People price gouge you for them because it's rare. But you can go on eBay and you can probably find. I went on eBay and bought all mine original releases in mono, and they all sounded great. And I even made a profit on them. It was only like a $10 profit, but it's still a profit. Anyway, I'm going on. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you love the Beatles as much as I do. And I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.